Good morning. Carlo asks, how do we do blurred background, blobs, poofs, clouds, whatever, where we might need more than two and we don't want to use pseudo classes. We have something like three or more circles that we want to put behind stuff. So this is a method. I'm going to be using a page builder that I'm working on. So it's going to be a little bit like unorthodox in terms of the implementation, but you should be able to do this with CSS if you're not using it, which you won't be because it's not available yet. But just want to kind of kick the tires of, sorry, wrong thing. Kick the tires of this page builder I'm working on and show you how I would approach it. So let's open up like a blobs page in this builder, and let's just load that up. So we have a header and footer, and then we have this kind of editable dotted area where we can add stuff in. Okay, so we just have like an HTML container, and if I give this like padding of like say 5 rem, I can type stuff in it and it will render here. Okay, so imagine like bricks with just HTML modules. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a relatively positioned outer container and then an absolutely positioned inner container, but we do want to put some content in it first. So maybe I'll say something like paragraph with type like, bigger heading, and put some lorem ipsum text in there for now, and maybe we say like contrast highest, and then another paragraph which could be like type small readable, and then like lorem 20 there or something like that. So let's do like 18, just a couple lines. And so we have our stuff. Let's hit Command S to just format that code. And so we're going to blob this. And I'll do, I think it looks better with a darker scheme. So if I say like scheme darkest, it'll do that. And then we're going to be able to make an absolute position container inside of here. So I could just call this whatever I want. I could say like blobs and position absolute, inset 0, and then let's just give it like a red background so we can see what happens. Okay, so we know that we need to relatively position the parent, so we'll just sneak in there and give that relative positioning, so that's cool. And then we also need to like make sure that all the siblings of that absolutely positioned element have relative positioning so that they stack on top. And I can just do like siblings position relative. Note that I'm not writing any custom CSS here. Like this is just utility classes that I'm using, which I don't know if my boy Kevin would dig that, but this is an approach, and this should be pretty clear what is going on, and there's a CSS equivalent to this. All right, so let's put a blob in here. We're just going to say blob, and we'll just comment it like blob1, and let's give it just some styles. So we'll say like, I don't know, width, 20 rem, height 20 rem, background sky blue, and absolute, and then we'll just say like bottom negative 10 rem, and border radius like 50%, and filter blur 10 pixels or something like that. We can dial that up. We want to really like blob it up, and then we maybe want it to kind of hog this area, so we don't want it to be the same width and height. Maybe that height is fine, but we make it wider, and we hit the left, like something like that. And we can adjust these values as we need to, just as we want to do that. Maybe we even bring the border radius down a little bit, and then we can just give it some opacity of like 0.25 or something like that, so we get that. And if you overflow hidden on the parent, then you'll see that like it'll kind of cut it off, hidden, so it won't like bleed into the other sections. And then we have a blob, and we can always kind of cancel the opacity and get this. Let me hit Command S to just format and sort these classes. So we can do stuff like make it wider if we want. And that's fine for now. So let's just say that this is like our first blob. And so we want to add another blob in the upper right. So we can just copy this blob and we can say blob 2 and we say top and right. And maybe this is like tomato or something like that, or, you know, gray, something just a little bit like complementary, like gray. And maybe we make that opacity lower and hit Command S to save everything. Maybe one more, just to show that we can do as many as we want. And this could be like, you know, background red, purple, and we can say bottom 10 rem and something like that. And we can even just kind of look at that and adjust its opacity. Maybe we want that to be more, or we want it to be there, or something like that. So now we have our blobs, and they are going to be like, we are setting that we could give them widths that were percentages instead, which might help. So if I actually just do like, let's say 33% and width 33% and width, where's the width? Yeah, 33%. Then when we bring this screen in, they'll have like, they'll be proportional. You see that they're not like just overlapping anymore. So that's kind of how I would handle it. If I clean this code up a bit, we'd see that it's actually about 12 lines of HTML, ready to rock. So that's an approach I would take. Hopefully this kind of inspires you to do the same with CSS. If you're interested in this this experiment that I'm doing, this whole guy, let me know. But this is an idea of just how to like overlay things where you're basically creating this like this other layer on which you can do whatever, and you don't have to worry about like the existing layers. So I don't know if Bricks allows you to like prepend an overlay like that, but I'm guessing a custom HTML element would allow you to do that. Good stuff. All right, have a good day.